as principal Kelly Whitaker.
Xander Jones, Jacob Schultz, and Aaron Campbell. And then Noah Stevens, he is a second-year fire science student. So he's gone through all of that last year, and he will look to go to Hutch upon graduation, and he won't have much time at all to be able to complete that fire science degree. So
Noah Stevens will attend the Hutchinson Community College Fire Science School. Whitaker says all other students will continue with the year as well. The exclusive KOFO Weather Center forecast tonight: clear skies, 3 above for the overnight low, wind chills between 1 and 6 below. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high of 34. Tomorrow night becoming overcast with our low down to 28. And that brings you up to date. I'm Don Elliott, KOFO News.
Stay tuned for the following special presentation from KOFO 1220 and 103.7 FM. KOFO, your sports source for East Central Kansas, welcomes you to this edition of Hoop Talk, live from the KOFO studios at Pizza Time in downtown Ottawa. Hoop Talk is our weekly chat with Ottawa University head basketball coaches Aaron Siebenthal and Bruce Tate, and it's brought to you by Pizza Time, Ottawa University, and State Farm agent Keith King. You're invited to join us during the show for food and drink specials and your chance to win a free large pizza from Pizza Time. Now, let's join your host for KOFO's Hoop Talk, Bob Johnson.
Well, hello, and welcome into this week's edition of the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO, your weekly source of head coach Aaron Siebenthal. And that's what we need, is more Aaron Siebenthal in our lives. Coach, welcome.
Thanks, Bob. Glad to be here. Yeah. It's nice and warm up here on the stage.
Well, you know, there was almost some honesty in that statement right there that you're happy to be here. We're almost to a breakthrough. I'm proud.
Yeah. Well, 3 or 4 more weeks of this, and we'll probably be where we need to be.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm happy to hear that as we continue to talk about this successful season that the Ottawa University men's team has put together. Picked up a couple of nice victories. One last Saturday, and of course one last night, and a completely different output energy-wise in those 2 games than when we talked last week.
Yeah, no, we talked about what we needed to do last week coming off a disappointing loss, and we did those things. We played really well, and a lot of energy, especially on the defensive end, and that led to us getting lots of runouts and good looks in transition. And we 28 assists at Tabor on Saturday. We followed that up with 24 assists last night. When we share the ball like that, we got enough guys that can score. We're pretty hard to guard, but it all starts with our effort on the defensive end and rebounding.
And that has really been a key for this team. Is defense has really spurred a lot of the offense. You talked about the assist game, 24 and 26. What is the top one? 28. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to short you a couple there. What is the highest per game that for this team for the program as a whole, or 2 game, or do you know?
I don't know. I'm sure Casey will text it here pretty soon, but no, 28 against Tabor I think was our season high. We've been in the 20s quite a few times this year, and if you look at that, you know, that number really sticks out, and we really look at our rebounding number, we really look at our assist numbers, and obviously our turnover numbers. So if our guys will continue to share the ball and play for each other, we got a chance to be pretty special.
Braves opened up a 20-point lead at in the first half, and then York really spent a lot of their energy in that second half trying to get back into it, and you guys were able to keep them at bay. What really was the huge difference in that game last night?
Just our focus and our energy. I mean, it really is. I mean, York's got a lot of weapons. They are really, really good on the offensive glass, and so we really focused on making sure that we blocked out. And they bring so many guys to crash that if you block out and can get a rebound and a clean outlet, you're going to get easy looks on the other end. And we really ran and shared the ball well. And so really for us, I think it was just make sure we were limiting their offensive rebounds. I think they had 7 in the first half. I don't remember what they finished with, but we're not a overly athletic or big team, so rebounding is a team effort, and I think we did a pretty good job of that last night.
Ryan Haskins led the way with 18 last night. Andre Jackson with 16, and then, of course, Mason McDowell had 11, and Daryl Bowie with 10 points. You had another, so 4 again in double figures in that one. So plenty of touches, plenty of assists, and it led to plenty of points for you guys.
Yeah, we got all kinds of guys that can step up and score, 15, 20 points pretty easily. So Joe Johnson was really good offensively, didn't get into double digits there. I want to talk a little bit more about Mason McDowell. That was Mason's best, most complete game of the year by far. I mean, he had 11 points. He had 10 rebounds. He had 5 blocks, and he had 5 assists and 0 turnovers. So for our 5-man to have that stat line, I mean, that's pretty special. So it's the most active Mason has been on the defensive end and the rebounding end all year. And if he keeps that up, that really, really gives us a boost down there. And he's got a chance to be a really nice player in this league if he'll stick with it and dedicate himself.
Well, and he got plenty of time to be out there on the floor last night to show what he can do. And you brought up assists for him. He was one of 2 players with 5 assists, Mason along with Jackson. But then Daryl had 6 assists. So you had 3 guys who really had no issues with setting people up and making sure they had good shots.
Yeah, Mason can score in and out, but he's probably our best passer, to be honest with you. And then Jackson is a pass-first point guard who, he's scored a little bit lately, which is nice, but he's definitely a pass-first guy. But for Daryl to really be trying to get everybody else involved, because, he can score at such a high level. So he's really focusing on trying to get everyone else involved and getting his assist numbers up. And he can do that and still score 16, 20 points a game. For him, he was a little disappointed in his turnovers. He had 4 turnovers, but he's doing a better job of trying to make the right play and the easy play, and a lot of his turnovers just kind of unforced, but he's making better decisions and playing better lately.
The one thing that I found was really interesting is for a team who puts a lot of pressure on their opponents, only got to the foul line 7 times last night.
Yeah, there was not a lot of fouls called on either end. It was a very quick game. I think Casey said it was like an hour and 19 minutes or something. So, if you think about it, there's at least 55 minutes of real time that's got to be played. So there was only, another 25 minutes of stoppage time. So it was a fast game. We had a good crew. I liked our crew. I thought they, were fair and just kind of let us play. But it was a clean game. There wasn't a lot of crashes. There wasn't a lot of contact. It was a pretty clean game. And we got out to that lead, and York never really tried to press us or muddy the game up. They just kind of tried to do what they do and try and chip away at it. And we were lucky enough to make some plays and get some stops and kind of keep that lead wide open there.
Of course, shooting 54% from the floor, that certainly doesn't hurt when you're able to continue to hit baskets like that.
No, I mean, it's a thing is when we can run and we lay it up a lot, and then we get wide open threes, and we've got, really, I mean, everybody on our team that we play, all 9, even 10 guys when you get into the bench, all those guys can shoot. And so if the ball moves, it's going to find the right guy, and that guy's usually going to make shots. So, but a big part of our shooting percentage is our defense, and it leads to easy baskets under there because we run so well.
And, of course, picking up those 2 wins, that continues the Braves' lead at the top of the conference. Really thought you guys might have got some help last night, but Oklahoma Wesleyan came away and picked up that win. So still just 1 game difference between you and the Eagles, but it's kind of coming down now, and I think you guys are pretty much going to be the race from here on out for the top.
Yeah, we control our own destiny. We've got 3 opportunities left to improve and show that we're the best team in this league. And if we take care of business and we win, and if we don't, we're going to need some help or whatever. So we are very cliche. We are taking it 1 game at a time. And if you need to win 3 games, you got to win the first one to win the next 2. So we are definitely going to show up to Sterling, I think, with an edge and a mindset that it's the most important game of the year.
We're going to talk a little bit about that game when we come back. Plus, I want to get Coach's thoughts on Sterling's performance last night, as they were beat in a game against the bottom dweller Tabor Blue Jays, 87-67. So we'll touch on that a little bit too. But we'll take our first break of the evening. We're at Pizza Time till the top of the hour. Come down, catch some college basketball, have have some pizza. Good staff on hand tonight to take care of all your pizza needs here at Pizza Time. You're listening to the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO and KOFO.com.
It's never too late to become who you're supposed to be. However, sometimes you may need a little help. Ottawa University can get you there. Their faculty and staff are dedicated to preparing graduates for a lifetime of significance. With dozens of degree programs, including accounting, engineering, human services, and marketing, as well as graduate degrees in business administration and education, Ottawa University will prepare you for whatever or whoever you want to be. Don't wait. Get started today. Find out more by visiting online at ottawa.edu.
Let's face it, auto insurance can be confusing. Do you know your comprehensive from your collision, your no fault from liability, your premium from your deductible? After an accident is no time to find out that your definition of full coverage is actually different from what your policy says. Let local State Farm Insurance agent Keith King explain auto insurance in terms you can understand.
I'm State Farm Insurance agent Keith King. Let's work together to be sure your vehicle has the coverage you need. Call and schedule an appointment today at 242-9435. Stop by my office at 111 South Main in Ottawa or visit online at keithking.net.
Pizza Time at 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa is very proud to be a locally owned and operated part of the community. From supporting our schools and charities to backing our sports teams, Pizza Time has been serving the area in more than just pizza since 1985. Dine in, carry out, or free delivery. Remember, Pizza Time is here to continue to serve up the area's favorite pizza. Look us up and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or just call us at 242-TIME. You know what time it is? It's always Pizza Time.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Sponsored by Case Legal Media.
Attention. This is an important message for anyone that has been diagnosed with cancer after being exposed to Roundup or other weed killers. The Internal Agency for Research on Cancer warned that overexposure to Roundup and other weed killers may increase the risk of developing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Monsanto, the manufacturer of Roundup, may have known that Roundup and other weed killers were likely linked to organ damage and cancer. This information was hidden from the public as proprietary trade secret since 1981, and Monsanto may have failed to warn of the potential risk of cancer. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with cancer after being exposed to Roundup or other weed killers, you may be entitled to significant compensation.
Call us now at 800-715-3914. Our network of attorneys are ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call now for a free consultation at 800-715-3914. You must protect your legal rights. Call 800-715-3914. Again, 800-715-3914.
Back here at Pizza Time. You're listening to us on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO and KOFO.com on the interweb, the World Wide Web, where our friends in Guam are being informed on Ottawa University Braves basketball. And before we went to break, we touched on an upset last night per se as Tabor picked up their third win of the year, defeating Sterling 87-67. Of course, Sterling is your next opponent, Coach. So it could go either way, but I'd like to get your thoughts on it. Tabor, you mentioned Tabor being a team that can jump up and beat people. They did so last night. So could you be looking at a very angry Warriors club when you get there on Saturday, or could that be enough of a be deflating enough to maybe help you guys out? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to be angry about losing to Tabor. I think what I've told our guys is, they're Sterling is not going to make the conference tournament, so they're already out of that. So for them, if they can beat the top team in the league, that's a building block for their program that's trying to rebuild. It also, so that's one thing. And then with them not having any pressure, they're not trying to win a conference title, or they're not trying to get into the tournament. They know. So teams that don't have pressure, you kind of just go out there and let it fly, and they do let it fly anyway. So, with them having less pressure on them, that's dangerous. So a team with no pressure and really nothing to lose, just go out there and roll it out and see what happens. And those are the kind of teams that you got to be worried about. And that's kind of the message that we've told our guys is why we got to come ready to play.
Well, and that was going to lead to my next question. Is that something that you had approached with your team to make sure that they stay focused and with the task at hand?
Yeah, I think they just need to understand that, how important every game is, and they do. But I think, it's easy to look at standings and compare scores, and we just went to Tabor and beat them by 20, and then they beat Sterling by 20. And it's easy to look at that, but Tabor's been playing well. I mean, they won I think 2 out of 3 before they played us, and barely lost to Southwestern the game before they played us, and we just did a really good job of shutting down their leading scorer. So they're a team that is kind of peaking at the right time, and again, they're a team that is playing with no pressure. So it's just important for our guys to understand that we got to respect our opponents. Obviously, we got a long road trip and got to get up early, and it's a tough place to play. So our guys have to be ready and prepared for that.
And that was another thing that I was going to talk about. That is, whether it's basketball or football, that road trip always seems to be one that will take players kind of out of their mindset and take them a while to get those bus legs out of the system. Will you do anything different in preparation?
No, I mean, it's different. Football goes on the road, 4 or 5 times a year, and maybe one of those trips is long. We go on the road in conference 12 times a year, and a lot of those trips are long. So we're used to it. We're used to the schedule. We've got a pretty good routine. So, we're not too worried about it being a longer trip. I mean, we did this. We went to York and had to battle them. I mean, Southwestern's a long trip. I mean, other than St. Mary and Avila, I mean, we're going to go at least an hour and 45, 2 hours for everybody we play. So it's not a thing for us. We've played well there, won quite a few games in a row there. So I think our guys will be ready to go.
And I would imagine, again, this one's all going to start on the defensive side, get some early stops to get that offense rolling. Yeah,
for sure. They're a team that posts really everybody 2 through 5. They post everybody. They like to go for mismatches, and so we'll have guards, guarding guys posted up, which is new for a lot of them, and they've got some size and they've got some good players, so that can really get going and get hot at the right time. So we definitely will have to be locked in on the defensive end and make sure that we're playing our defense to our philosophy and our scouting report.
Is there a matchup you're looking forward to seeing on Saturday there in Sterling? One of your players against one of theirs?
Well, I mean, their best player is Jemiah Wyndham-Haynes. He's a really nice player. Been in the league for a while, and he's more of a post, but can shoot it out to 15. We'll shoot the 3 a little bit, but Jaquan Daniels, of course, we'll get him because that's what we do. Put Jaquan on the team's best player, and he's usually up for the challenge. So that'll be the matchup. I mean, if we can slow down their leading scorer, and especially if we can do that one-on-one and not let him pass the ball to open guys. If we have to bring help, then that'll go a long way in solidifying our defense.
How disappointed are you with the early start at the early leave time?
It is what it is. I mean, I'd rather leave earlier and get home sometime on Saturday and not on Sunday. So it is what it is. We'll be fine with that. And like I said, our guys are used to it, and we've got a routine down. So I mean, it's just business, so we'll take care of what we got to do.
What is the one hidden thing for your team for Saturday that you've got to come away with that you got to do to come away with the victory?
I don't know if there's anything hidden. I mean, it's the same thing. We got to play really good defense. We got to rebound the ball. We got to run, and then we got to share it. So it's really just it's keeping things simple and just doing what we do and not trying to do anything spectacular, and I think we'll be good.
And team's been doing a really good job with keeping it simple and just fundamental basketball. We talked about the assists and sharing the ball and also just having fun out there. Do you sense that maybe some of the slow points or the rut that the team kind of has been in for a little bit here and there, as we've talked about with energy, things like that is they're kind of coming out of that now?
Yeah, I don't think we were in a rut. I think that we played bad one game, and another team made a bunch of shots because we weren't playing good defense, and so that's in a 31 game season, that's going to happen, and we were fortunate to play that way in other games, but still shoot the ball well enough to win. And so, I don't think we're in a rut by any means, but I think we just are more focused on back to how we play basketball and really making sure that we do that. And that's the most important thing is we do what we do, and we do that for 40 minutes.
I know you don't look too far ahead, but I don't think we will talk before. Yeah, the last home game of the season is going to be on Wednesday with Kansas Wesleyan. So let's talk a little bit about the seniors, if you don't mind. What's going to be obviously if you win conference and go to the national tournament, that's going to be something that you'll keep in mind forever. But besides the obvious, when you look at the senior group, what are you most proud of?
I think I'm most proud of who they are as people. It's a great group. There's 3 of them that play and really 3 of them that don't play a lot. And then we got a couple student assistants in there. So we'll celebrate 8 seniors, next Wednesday and have a good night with them. But, we've got 4-year guys, 3-year guys, 2-year guys. We've got high school guys transfers. So we got all kinds of different guys. But it's been a really fun group. The guys that play, some of them have played right away, and some of them earned those roles. And the guys that don't play are great role guys. And you look at Kobe Mead, and you look at Eli Ponce, and those guys are good basketball players. They're just behind some guys that can really play, and those guys come in every day and give us a great look, whether they're repping with the starters and the reserves, or whether they're on the scout team. Those guys come in and just work their tail off every day and have never complained. And I'm glad in the last couple of games we could get those guys in and they could make some shots because they deserve it. So obviously we'll miss Daryl scoring and his ability to create. We'll miss Ryan spreading the floor and shooting the 3. Matt Balday is our ultimate energy guy, glue guy. So. And then you got Kyle Patrick, who started who's come off the bench, really versatile, can shoot the heck out of the ball. So, you got a really good group, and then you throw in, obviously Michael Douglas is our director of basketball operations, Alex Lawson, who's been our student assistant, transferring from a playing role after an injury. So, I mean, it's a really neat group that really get along well, and I think I'll always remember them as good people and the team chemistry we had, and it's because of that group. Really specifically this group of seniors is why we have the chemistry we do, which is the reason we've had success.
Have you asked the seniors to talk to the younger kids in the program to maybe impart some of their wisdom or how to keep that team chemistry going? Have you asked them to do that? Is it something they do on their own?
Yeah, I really think that I mean you can foster leadership, but I think leadership like that and the culture has to be kind of molded, but not maybe sculpted. And so I think it needs to be more organic, and our guys do a really good job of that. And whether it's seniors talking to a new transfer or talking to a freshman that might be playing on the JV, they know my expectations and our expectations in our program, and our seniors and our leaders do a good job of kind of that trickles down, and it's a culture we've been trying to build, and Coach Carrier had a great culture, and I've stolen a lot of things we do from him. But anytime you have a coaching change, it's still different, and you need to part of the culture is the head coach's personality, and that's what we feel like we're kind of there where we need to be, and now the question is, how do we maintain that year after year?
Well, Coach, good luck with the game on Saturday, and we're looking forward to talking to you again next week. And just to throw this out, a little tidbit for you, out of all the men's basketball coaches out there right now, you're probably third on my list, so thank you.
All right, let's see. Casey Weeder, Gary Bateman, Luke Queen, anyone that's doing PA at the games in Wilson Fieldhouse, and then Bob Johnson. So, hey, top 5, Bob, top 5.
Yeah, that's all I could ask for. That means there's a shot. There's a shot. Coach, thanks. I appreciate you taking time out, and we will talk to you again next week.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you.
That is head coach Aaron Siebenthal joining us here. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk women's basketball with Bruce Tate as the Alba University Braves have picked up a win last night and are picking up some momentum as the season draws to a close. But we'll talk about that more when we return. You're listening to the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO and KOFO.com.
Pizza Time at 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa is very proud to be a locally owned and operated part of the community. From supporting our schools and charities to backing our sports teams, Pizza Time has been serving the area in more than just pizza since 1985. Dine in, carry out, or free delivery. Remember, Pizza Time is here to continue to serve up the area's favorite pizza. Look us up and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or just call us at 242-TIME. You know what time it is? It's always Pizza Time.
It's never too late to become who you're supposed to be. However, sometimes you may need a little help. Ottawa University can get you there. Their faculty and staff are dedicated to preparing graduates for a lifetime of significance. With dozens of degree programs, including accounting, engineering, human services, and marketing, as well as graduate degrees in business administration and education, Ottawa University will prepare you for whatever or whoever you want to be. Don't wait. Get started today. Find out more by visiting online at ottawa.edu.
It's late at night. You've been visiting family and you're on your way home. You didn't see the deer in front of you until it was too late. Everyone is safe. Your vehicle did its job and protected you. Now you get to find out if your auto insurance does the same. It will, because you have State Farm Auto Insurance through local agent Keith King in Ottawa.
I'm State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King. Let's work together to be sure your vehicle has the coverage you need. Call and schedule an appointment today at 242-9435. Stop by my office at 111 South Main in Ottawa or visit online at keithking.net.
An interesting creature inhabits the flat, arid plains of many an automobile dashboard, the bobblehead. It's most agreeable and will nod along to anything, despite having no brain function. But when the bobblehead hears how Geico not only saves people money, but also gives them access to licensed agents 24/7 online and over the phone, he'll nod even more vigorously because he knows you should switch. Because yes, switching to Geico is a no-brainer. Easy, bobblehead, easy. You're going to get whiplash.
At Simple Mobile, you get the no contract advantage. Unlimited talk and text plus 5 gigabytes of high-speed data for $30 a month. Just $30 a month on a 5G-ready network and no contract. That's our best deal ever. Learn more at simplemobile.com. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Limited time offer ends 4/30/20. Standard high-speed data allotment on all redemptions thereafter. 5G capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. 1 month equals 30 days. Plus taxes and fees. See terms and conditions at simplemobile.com.
We had a little interference going on there. I thought we were back a little bit earlier than we were, but, you know, that's the fun of not knowing what you're doing sometimes. So.
That's your fault.
No, we just...
Whoever's in the booth back home.
Oh, Lars.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah, we'll blame it all on him.
Man, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to say that.
We have to give the board op some trouble from time to time, and
absolutely,
especially with it being him, that makes it even better.
Yes.
Have you seen his flowing hair?
I have not. I've not seen him for I don't know how many months now. Just hear his voice.
Well, it is. Oh, he just texted he quit. So.
Bye.
Well, that puts us in a predicament for the rest of the show. It's Coach Bruce Tate joining us here as we talk women's basketball. And Bruce, it's been it's been really fun to watch this team play here. We talked about the success here in the second half, but 82 last night against York. You had 93 against Avila, of course, coming up short against Tabor, but you know, you had it there for a time and just couldn't come away with it.
Yep.
But the ladies really starting to pick up that momentum, and again last night with York, it really you kind of went back and forth in that first quarter, took the lead at the end, and really never let go.
Yeah, you know, York usually does a really good job of competing in first quarters and second quarters, and I felt that it was important for us in the second quarter to get a little separation and not to give them too much confidence going into halftime. And we did have a slow start. We missed a lot of high percentage shots. I mean, Mariah missed a lot, Liz missed a lot, and then we finally got going from the outside and got some easy buckets. Our defense did a really good job of creating easy buckets for us, and that's what I was most proud of is our defense intensity.
Only giving up 54 overall. Really, this defense continues to put up impressive stats, but again, the offense, 44% from 44% from the floor last night. The offensive output from the ladies. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the 47% from behind the three-point arc.
Yeah, you got choked up there at the beginning, and you should get choked up. So, we shot it really well against Avila. At Tabor, shooting 29%, and 11% from the three, 50% from the free throw line was. I asked them today, what's the difference? The ball is round, court's 94 feet, the rims are 10. I mean, everything is the same, and I think just mentally, Tabor came ready to play. They knew they had to come out and light a spark, and they did that. And I think it just killed the confidence of our girls, and it was just tough for us to get back in a rhythm. But no, offensively things are starting to click, like I, predicted, a couple months ago that it was going to take a little time to get there and to catch up with our defense. But if they can keep rolling here with on both ends of the floor, we could hopefully get on a run here and play ourselves into the tournament.
Maddie McAvoy with another good night, 18 for her. Avery Lumen had 16, Mariah with 10, and almost a double-double. She had 10 points and 8 rebounds, but getting 16 off the bench from Avery Lumen, and you get 9 from Cameron Collins and Jennifer Anthony, that certainly doesn't hurt.
No, absolutely. Those, Avery is a starter for us, and she just had that health issue going on with her right now, so we're really trying to monitor her minutes, and so she's used to playing in that role, and so to have that leadership, come off the bench is great. But yeah, Jennifer Anthony and Cameron Collins are two at times unpredictable players. When it comes to what they're going to be able to bring us. Both of them are great athletes and have the ability to score. So any night they score close to double digits, that's going to give us a really good chance to win.
And 17 assists in the ball game. It can't go wrong when you're sharing the ball like that and getting some production.
Yeah, that was my I usually have one proud stat of every evening, and that was that the 17 assists, I think 16 turnovers. So having that one more assist and turnover is always good. And when we share the ball, we're a better team, and I showed that in film going into the game.
And people are going to maybe point out about the York's record or whatever, but it doesn't matter. You got to play what you got in front of you. And I mean, there's many a times that people have let their guard down and been surprised. And so to me, I think this is more of an impressive win in some ways than maybe knocking off a top or tier team, because you put your foot on their necks and you finished it off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I talked about that today. With our offense production, I'm like, yes, it was York. When it came to being a bottom team, how we score the basketball and our shooting percentages, and I'm like, that's no different than what we could have done, against Tabor too as well. So I'm just trying to, really fight through the mental toughness and the mental battles with some offensive things, but yeah, it is an impressive win, to beat any team by that numerous points and shoot it as well as you did and only give up 54 points. Most of the time you score in 80s, you're going to give up 60 or 70, and we were able to keep them under our defensive average.
And I just caught my eye. We always talk about the free throw shooting, and just missed 2 last night.
Yeah.
89% basically, 16 of 18 choked you up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
well when you shoot 50% the previous game and then come back and only miss 2 and shoot over 80, it's just head scratching. And most of the time the same kids are shooting the same free throws. So yeah, we're really good at getting to the free throw line. I think Katie rattled off a stat in the office the other day that we've, made 100 more free throws than our opponents since whatever date, or I don't know. But it's something that we emphasize, and that's a big part of our offensive production.
Do you think in some ways that your team buys into the hype of teams? Let's take a look at a Tabor. Without even going out there and just playing, they're already with a deficit in their minds.
Absolutely. That's, it's not something that I pinpointed, but that's my biggest fear. I mean, if you look at our schedule and how we've competed, against Sterling the first time around, we lost, over 20 points or so. K-Dub, lost big. Bethany, it's a team that we've competed well with in previous years, so mentally they were prepared for that game. Avila was a little nervous going in the second time around, but we were able to play well there. But yeah, those top teams, Tabor too, just with the reputation that they have. We lost to them by 3, played terrible, lost by 3, and then go down to their place and just don't show up. So yeah, it's just one of those things where you're really just trying to figure out, what's going through their heads and just, hey, let's go play basketball.
And that's got to be the toughest part of being a coach is, one, figuring out what is going through their minds with that, but then how to break that cycle. Because once you get into a cycle like that, it's hard to get out.
Yeah, and, if one's down, then the other's down, and then that one brings the other one down. And I mean, it really, that's how it was at Tabor. I mean, it was, Mariah missed a few close shots, and then Liz missed a few shots, and then Avery didn't make a 3. Caitlin, it just was one thing after another, and I took a timeout, and I'm like, hey, somebody go make a play, Come out of the timeout, we make a play, got a little momentum. Our bench came in, did a great job for us, and then we just kind of settled. So that was tough, and I thought we played well in the second half. It just was that first quarter that got us.
So you give them the speech of someone go make a play. So when you prepare, let's say for this game coming up on Saturday, you've got a team in Sterling that is number 2 in the conference right now, number 17. Will you approach it with them and say, hey, don't worry about that, just go out and make plays? Or is there something you can do to just get them to not even focus on that?
Yeah, I'd like to control what we could control, have faith in what we do defensively, let our defense create our offense. I like to say, make things happen on the defensive end and let things happen on the offensive end. And Sterling had a tough loss on Wednesday, and catching a team after a loss is not always good, because with good teams, they're usually mad. So, but, their confidence may be shot a little bit, and they're still fighting for a regular season conference championship. So it's a great opportunity for us to go on the road and play ourselves away into the tournament.
Well, and even with that bump on the road against Tabor, you still find yourself right there battling for that final spot, and of course starting to run out of games, but still plenty of time. But there's still plenty of time for things to happen. But again, I always go back to from where when we started the show back in, oh my gosh, was it November?
November.
Yeah.
November.
To where we are now, to be even talking about having a chance at the tournament is a huge turnaround.
Yeah, absolutely. The girls have done a great job of turning things around, and we've just stayed with our repetitions of doing things, and I've been coaching for a very long time, and been coaching in this league a long time, and so I know what it takes to win ball games in our league, but yeah, it's been good to see them grow and mature, And of course, as a coach, you always want them to do a lot more. And but yeah, the season is not over, and it's going to come down to the last game. And I think it's really set up good for us. If we were able to knock off, Sterling and K-Dub, that would give us a tremendous lift on tiebreakers, because that's what we're going to run into, depending on how things roll out here these next few ball games. So if we can beat another top 4 team, because we already got one, then that helps our chances on any tiebreakers there down the stretch.
We'll talk a little bit more about that, but first let's take our final break of the evening. And when we come back, we'll talk more about the game with Sterling on Saturday, but also trying to get some help on the tiebreaker side. And we'll talk a little bit about seniors also, as we won't have a chance to talk about them before our next show. So a lot to try to get into that final segment, and we'll take our final break. We are here till the top of the hour at Pizza Time. Come on down and join us for some pizza, some college basketball, and join us for the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO and KOFO.com.
Let's face it, auto insurance can be confusing. Do you know your comprehensive from your collision, your no-fault from liability, your premium from your deductible? After an accident is no time to find out that your definition of full coverage is actually different from what your policy says. Let local State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King explain auto insurance in terms you can understand.
I'm State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King. Let's work together to be sure your vehicle has the coverage you need. Call and schedule an appointment today at 242-9435. Stop by my office at 111 South Main in Ottawa, or visit online at keithking.net.
It's never too late to become who you're supposed to be. However, sometimes you may need a little help. Ottawa University can get you there. Their faculty and staff are dedicated to preparing graduates for a lifetime of significance. With dozens of degree programs, including accounting, engineering, human services, and marketing, as well as graduate degrees in business administration and education, Ottawa University will prepare you for whatever or whoever you want to be. Don't wait. Get started today. Find out more by visiting online at ottawa.edu.
Pizza Time at 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa is very proud to be a locally owned and operated part of the community. From supporting our schools and charities to backing our sports teams, Pizza Time has been serving the area in more than just pizza since 1985. Dine in, carry out, or free delivery. Remember, Pizza Time is here to continue to serve up the area's favorite pizza. Look us up and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or just call us at 242-TIME. You know what time it is? It's always Pizza Time.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Sponsored by Case Legal Media. Attention. This is an important message for anyone that has been diagnosed with cancer after being exposed to Roundup or other weed killers. The Internal Agency for Research on Cancer warned that overexposure to Roundup and other weed killers may increase the risk of developing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Monsanto, the manufacturer of Roundup, may have known that Roundup and other weed killers were likely linked to organ damage and cancer. This information was hidden from the public as proprietary trade secrets since 1981, and Monsanto may have failed to warn of the potential risk of cancer. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with cancer after being exposed to Roundup or other weed killers, you may be entitled to significant compensation.
Call us now at 800-715-3914. Our network of attorneys are ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call now for a free consultation at 800-715-3914. You must protect your legal rights. Call 800-715-3914. Again, 800-715-3914.
Final segment here on the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show, as we get you ready for Saturday's games with Ottawa University, as the Braves on the road. They'll be at Sterling. It'll be 3 and 5 for the tips. The women tip at 3, the men at 5. You'll have the Fusion Alley Primetime Grill, Ottawa University Braves pregame show. Yeah, that's a mouthful right there. Someday I will not stumble over that. The Fusion Alley Primetime Grill, Ottawa University pregame show at about 2:45-ish. The women tip at 3. The men will follow at 5. Casey Weeder will have the call for you, and you'll hear them both here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO and KOFO.com. Coach, let's talk about the seniors real quick, because I definitely want to get that in before the final home game of the year. And so, talk about this group of seniors and really what they've accomplished, not just this year, but over their time at OU.
Yeah, definitely a good group for seniors that are going to graduate. Jenna Kramer, you graduated at semester, so always proud. Yeah, when anytime any of our players graduate, and she had the opportunity to graduate early, and being at a small private school that's not cheap. That's usually a good, if you can do it, do it. But no, the four that were able to stick out the 4 seasons, the one that's played the most games for us is Kelsey Hendricks, and been able to be a 4-year starter, for us, and he's in and out of the starting lineup last year. But to come into a program and take over at a point guard position is always difficult. But she's been solid, for us all 4 years. There's a laundry list of things that, I wish she was able to accomplish, outside of just being who she is, to make our program even stronger. But you can ask for a better team player and an unselfish player at that point guard position, more than Kelsey has been for us the last 4 years. So it's been really good to see her grow, and she's going to be a great educator, going through physical education, and I'm anxious to see, how she does in the classroom, because sometimes she doesn't talk a lot in practice. So it'd be good to see how she teaches in the classroom. So that's, one senior that we're really proud of. And Caitlin Hughes, and she played all 4 years for us too as well, and came in and earned some playing time just with her grittiness on the defensive end, and then continue to grow offensively, and came a big time 3-point threat for us last year, and struggled a little bit this year, but has some big games, and she's played numerous roles for us over the last 4 years of coming off the bench, being a starter, being a leader, being the voice of the team, and things of that nature, and she's grown a lot, especially off the court with a lot of things, and she's going to be doing well in the social work area too as well. Avery Lumen, man, just the ups and downs health-wise for her has been frustrating for her, but having a fantastic senior season, with the ACL injury and the ability to come off the bench right now and just be a starter at the beginning of the year has been huge. But one of our vocal leaders, just a tough-nosed kid too as well, and wants to be very successful on and off the court, and her leadership would definitely be missed. And then one that doesn't have a big-time role playing-wise, but a great program kid, has been around my program ever since she's been in middle school or elementary school with her sister playing for me, and you couldn't ask for a better good teammate than she's been. And there's some nights where she's played a lot of minutes, and there's some nights she doesn't play at all, and she's in that very, very tough role, but she comes to practice and works every day. She has great off season. She doesn't miss workouts, and that work ethic is going to take her a very, very long way, and she's going to make a lot of employees really happy on how hard she works. So I'm very proud of these four, and they're going to be missed, but they've made their impact here on our program, and fell short of some goals that we've made, but hopefully we get things turned around here these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, when Bailey was on the program a few weeks back, and it just made me feel really old, considering that I remember doing some of Sam's games with West Franklin and with your teams, and now here's Bailey, and it's like, well, I'm officially old now. So
yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I knew those girls ever since they've been little. So it's been like that for a lot of my players that have younger siblings, and the Romick sisters, and with Bailey and Madison Stewart growing up in our gym from camps and things of that nature. It's great when those local kids actually want to stay, in their hometown school and make a mark. So, but yeah, you gotta swallow it, Bob. We're aging. We're aging.
I don't want to though. mentally I still feel like I'm in my 20s. Don't ask me about the physical side. That's a different story. I heard Casey break off with a stat last night in the post-game interview that, one, it was like, Casey, do you need a hobby? But two, only you would find that, Casey. It's you won every game at 3 o'clock, or the last 3 at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
That was
that was an interesting stat. Hopefully that comes true. Hopefully that comes true. So, but yeah, we must be like playing at 3 o'clock. So we'll see how that rolls. And we got our last 2 here at 3, and let's make that happen.
That would be, and of course, as we talked before the break, it's all going to really come down to the mental aspect, because the women have shown they can put the points up. They can make the stops. So you look at the last 3 wins, 82, 93, 73 is your point total, 75. And I mean, you've got, so they can play. It's just, you got to believe.
I know. It is definitely the mental part. So they've left my head scratching numerous nights. But no, we like to spread their scoring out, and that what makes it difficult at times. So if one kid's get going, then the other can get going, and anything can happen.
And of course, it's not taking anything away from Sterling. They've earned their the number 17 rank in the nation. But if there's one thing that the KCAC is known for, is anybody could beat anybody.
Absolutely. So this is the time of the year upsets are made. So hopefully we can go in there and play well. What
will the ladies need to do differently this time around against the Sterling squad?
Score. Yeah, we got to score. Sterling has 3 guards. Okay, Bob, 3 guards that are shooting 50% or higher. That's bananas.
Yeah.
And then they got their inside kids that are shooting at a high percentage too as well. So it's either defend extremely well, or we're going to have to score some points, to keep ourselves in a ball game. I mean, perfect example of the game last night with Tabor and Sterling. Tabor doesn't score 73 points, in a game. They're used to scoring 50, 40, 60 every once in a while, but they had to score 73 to win that, or 76 to win that game, and that's what we're going to have to do too as well. And if our defense can prevail and hold them under 60, then that's even better.
Is it almost a pick your poison? You're going to have to let somebody get their points, but if you can hold the other 2 down, that you could come away with a win?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's been our game plan and strategy with a lot of teams that we played. And for example, Avila, one person had 40, but no one else was in double figures. So I think our defense could do that as long as we're moving while the ball's in the air, communicating and pointing and doing the little things that we need to. I think we can do that for sure.
Well, and getting some success early to let them know that, hey, they can hang there on the court, it's going to be huge. I don't think that they can come out slow.
No, slow is not good. And first play, always try to pick a first play that that we could potentially get a good look or be really aggressive on. But we're going to have to be super aggressive. We're going to have to be able to manage the game when they're changing to their defenses. We did some good things against them last time, but we just can't have empty possessions. Give them easy runouts where they can go score easy baskets.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you joining us this week. Good luck with the game on Saturday, and of course, good luck with the game on Wednesday, because we won't talk again until next Thursday.
Absolutely.
So good luck there, and
thank you.
That's going to wrap it up for us here tonight with the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show. Remember, Saturday, it's 3 and 5, the tip-offs. Fusion Alley Primetime Grill pregame show at about 2:45. Excuse me. Casey Weeder will have the call. The women tip at 3 and the men tip at 5. Also, don't forget, tomorrow night, it'll be Ottawa High Cyclone basketball as they host Bonner Springs. The girls will tip off at 6. The boys will tip off at 7:30. We'll talk to you again next week, as that's going to wrap it up for the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO.
celebrating 70 years of information and entertainment in East Central Kansas. KOFO K279CS Ottawa, where keeping you informed comes first.